I got it, yes. And Sean's got another one on. Keep fighting, keep fighting. Keep. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
After leaving Michigan, I was excited to hunt new animals in a different environment. Hunting blacktail in the Pacific Northwest provided an experience greater than my wildest dreams. That's the thing about this land for those of us who have never seen it. We see snow-capped mountains, lush, verdant forests full of moss, ferns, and giant trees and think, that could only exist in the movies or on TV. Coming here, I found out that it is in fact real, a jewel of God's creation. From rugged mountain terrain to dramatic waterfalls, every step reveals something new and incredible. Hunting here is more than the pursuit of an animal. It is the expectation of something magnificent just around any random corner. For someone who has lived most of their life in the deep woods of Michigan, every adventure here is a new wonder that I had never dreamed of experiencing. All the while, the tall mountains, deep valleys, and winding rivers calls to us outdoorsmen with the promise of chasing game where it is possible to walk miles without seeing signs of another human being. Knowing that you are not the only predator who stalks the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest.
Well guys, I got the windows down because it's so absolutely beautiful out. Deer season is back. We are at deer season now. I've been out just strictly bear hunting 3 times, and I've got 2 videos, so hopefully you guys got to see those. Man, look at Mount Hood. Let's see if you guys can see it out. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, did 3 bear hunts. Only videoed 2 of them because one of them was just like basically super redundant in the same spot, same thing's happening. So I'm gonna go out though today and hit up one of our deer spots. I've not done a ton of scouting this year. I've not done a ton of hunting, not done a ton of fishing. Life has just been so hectic, and it's so hard to get enough energy to get out there on top of everything right now. It's just kind of a season, you know, that we're in. Hopefully it, you know, figures things out, or I don't know. We'll see what the Lord does, but going out there, deer season, hopefully gonna take a Oregon blacktail deer, and that would be amazing. So last year this spot had a couple of really nice bucks on the camera. I didn't see anybody hunting that spot or anything, so there's a good possibility that, you know, we'll be able to get one. It can happen any day, but I'm gonna try to document the process as much as possible. After this week, it's supposed to go back to that kind of rainy, cold, and wet winter type weather that we're used to here in Oregon, and that will not be a bad thing, right? Because it's gonna be hunting, and I can put more warm clothes on, got hand warmers and all that stuff. Thinking about putting a blind out to this spot, but today, like I said, it's, even though it's in the season started this last weekend. This will be the first time I'm going out, and I haven't done much scouting or anything, so we'll get out there and see what happens. If I find a spot where I'm like, hey, a blind could go here, I'll probably bring a blind out next time and just set it up and sit there for a while. But yeah, let's get out and see what happens, huh? All right, guys, so we made it here. I have hunted this spot before, but I've never hunted from this perspective, and I found this road system that takes me to the spot that I want to be at, but from higher ground, which is kind of nice. And so I'm going to walk down and see what we can see. Obviously, I'm not in gear, so let's take care of that right now. All right, guys, so we are geared up. What's nice about where we found is we can walk down to the spot
when it's warm and walk back up to the truck when it's cold. So that'll be a little bit better. Just gonna get out there and sit and see what we see and kind of go from there. All right, let's get out there. So a couple of things. My window won't go down, so there's that. And then an old boy who's been hunting this area for a long time was out here since morning. He said hasn't seen anything, which happens. But he stopped by, super cordial and everything, super nice. So have no complaints there. I'm gonna go out and sit in this spot and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so out for another hunt. Going to a place that I haven't been to in a while. Archery season of last year, I saw many does in this spot. Never saw a buck, but that was archery season. This is rifle season. It's getting later in the season. The rut's starting to kind of come along. It happens a lot earlier here than it does in Michigan. There's kind of two rut phases really, but anyways, bucks will be chasing some does and things like that. So I'm gonna get out into this spot and we'll see what happens. I gotta be quiet because there could be any number of deer as I'm coming out even. So, and what's great about rifle season is it's not like you need the opportune shot. You just need to get a clear shot and then you've got a chance. So let's get out there. I've got a trail to walk and then I kind of dig into the woods, and the spot deer come through quite often. So we'll see what happens, but who knows? You never know. Let's get out there. Well, that's my second day of deer hunting. I was kind of hopeful. I think I had a deer. It could have been a buck, I don't know, because it didn't blow the way that a doe blows. Usually when they catch your wind, they have a higher pitch noise. This more sounded like rushing wind, but it came right up in my wind. So I'm pretty sure there was a deer and it just winded me. It came right up in my wind. Which, you know, sometimes you just can't beat the deer nose. Anyways, it was a good sit. I just didn't see anything. So I think what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to have like a day 1, day 2, day 3, and we'll just kind of keep going until we get one. I'm going to try to be out almost every day the rest of this month, in the afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was it for this one. So God bless. See you on the next day. All right, another day of hunting the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if we're gonna get anything today, but we're gonna keep trying. We could get a bear, we could get a blacktail, we could get a cougar. I do have my buddy out here with me. Are you okay to be on there? Do have my buddy out here with me from our church, Lucas over here.
How's it going?
And we're stopping at this place that I call the Eye-Bending Wall. It has other names, but it's a really cool spot in the corridor, so I figured I'd show you guys, especially because a lot of you are from Michigan and probably have never seen anything like this. So let's get up there. I don't know if the camera does this justice, guys, but I think that's pretty cool. Oh, you can see that's clear today. I wonder if there's any big fish in there. I saw somewhere around the edge there a big steelhead just kind of hanging out right in there. But oops, that's the kind of stuff you see in the Pacific Northwest. It's pretty cool. So I think this view was already in one of my bear videos, but I don't think there was as much snow on this mountain as before, and so it looks beautiful. Hopefully you guys can see it because I can't really zoom in with this camera, but check this out. So we get to our spot and the wind is not going the way that we wanted it to go. Yeah, a couple options were to find a new spot or
to scale a big mountain. Not really a big mountain, but scale a mountain to get to the other side and then come down against the wind. And because we're knuckleheaded and stubborn, we chose to go up the mountain. Fortunately, there's a path, but it's still a bit steep. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, getting the legs warmed up.
Yeah, so our goal is to go up probably to the power lines, then cut into the woods, and then come down, because the goal was actually there's a spot further down where we would go up and then go up there. And so what's nice is once we get this out of the way, it's all just downhill, and maybe we'll see some deer and they won't have our scent. So that's the plan. That's what we're thinking. We'll see what happens. We made it up on top, and definitely rewarded with an incredible view for sure.
We still have our legs.
Yeah, it's a little rough
So
though, huh? So look at this, guys. Oh yeah, there's that mountain again. It's pretty cool. So I see what amounts to almost a walking trail going up this ridge, and I was watching a guy, last name Endicott. He does a lot of blacktail hunting on YouTube. I was watching him a little bit, and he would go up into the peaks area, and when he was up there, and I mean he wasn't making that, he wasn't like being super quiet or anything, but he would see countless blacktails, he'd see bears, and he'd be within like bow shot of them really easy. So the goal is we're gonna be quiet now, and we're gonna kind of follow up that ridge over there, and we're just gonna kind of go basically along the ridge as far as we can and see if we see any deer and see what happens.
So we followed the path and it kind of stopped, and there was brush, and we push in probably 10 yards past the brush, and all of a sudden it opened up to this like manicured trail that was actually had logs cut and everything. It was crazy, and you didn't expect that, and it went down the ridge. So went down the ridge and we found a spot and we sat down, but unfortunately we didn't see much other than what you see here, and Lucas's reaction is pretty much all of it. So that's what we saw for this day. It was great having him out with us.
All right, guys, we are at it again. Going to go meet up with my friend Job and his son Evan, and we are going to go out and see if we can't get a buck. It's gotten a lot colder. The rain has started to come in, and I've heard that the bucks are really moving this week, next week, and then obviously next week's the end of season. But this week and next week should be prime, and it should get more prime as the week goes by, because rut should be starting very soon, and they're in pre-rut mode and that sort of thing. So there's a good chance that we'll be able to get something. We only have a little bit of time today just because that's how the schedule worked out. So we're gonna go out there and sit, and hopefully something happens. So hey guys, yesterday when I went out with my friend and his son from church, we didn't get anything. We didn't see much anything. However, what happened is the place where I wanted to sit and the place where I wanted them to sit, somebody was there where I wanted them to sit, which happens, you know, public land, rifle season, all that. So I had them sit where I was going to sit, and I went and did some scouting, and I found a spot with tons of trails. It's kind of more dense woods. It's just something that I feel more comfortable hunting in. It's a weird thing. So I am trying to relearn hunting a little bit, but it's even stranger than that. So I've had some success being around deer, using the techniques that I know of when hunting Michigan whitetail, but I'm now hunting Oregon blacktail. And the philosophy on hunting is completely different, because most of the hunting philosophy that I run into when I'm talking with guys out here, hunters of, you know, Pacific Northwest blacktail and all that, most of their hunting philosophy is you drive around, find some clear cuts. Oh, there's some rain. If it's like this the whole way, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, you drive around, find some clear cuts, you glass them, you see deer, you get close enough, you shoot them. That's their general thing. Whereas in Michigan, the hunting was more of ambush style. You found their trails, you found where they went, you sat up on just outside of them, where you had good vision, and you take them that way. So I find myself obviously going into that and then trying to learn the animal in a way that you learn the animal in Michigan. Now, keep in mind, people have been doing it the other way for hundreds of years out here, and so, like, is me holding to my guns and doing it that way gonna be better? It might not at all. There's a reason why these guys are doing it this way. But there's also something to be said for thinking outside the box, producing results. And I just have this feeling, if I double down and kind of hunt this brush where other people would look at it and go, no, I'm not gonna hunt in there, it's too thick and I can't see anything, that sort of thing, that it might produce some results. And so, that's kind of where I'm at. I got a buddy, he's got some spots that he said that, if last week comes, I don't have anything, get a hold of him, and we'll go out a time or two and just, bag a deer, hopefully, which is great. But if I can figure this out, it might lead to some, like, really world, like, I can't say world class, but more trophy bucks, just because these are places where I think the deer would go when they're being pressured on the clear cut. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. But I do feel like, it took me 7 years to really start to understand whitetail in Michigan. And, this is year 2. I haven't gotten a deer yet, and I only had a rifle tag, but their rifle season's a month long. I've got this week and next week, so hopefully I'll be able to get it done. But I feel like I'm almost back to square, well, if where I was there was about a 85% in Michigan of knowledge and being able to take a deer, here I feel like I'm back to about 35%. So there's even a good chance that I can get one, but it's just a lot more learning, and the terrain is way more difficult, particularly with the ups and downs and everything, and then having to drive. Another big thing that I'm kind of having to struggle with is I've got to drive a good 20 miles. You guys know I was in Irons, Michigan, and I could just go in my backyard and, I drive 5-10 miles down the road and everything was fine. But I have to drive, like, I'm going from Irons all the way to Cadillac, Michigan, to go hunt. And so that's another thing, it's something you got to think about. You got to plan it out. It's not something that you can go, hey, I've got a half an hour, I'm just gonna go sit in the woods for a minute. It's a different thing. So but anyways, we're gonna get out there. Would love to take an Oregon blacktail. Would love to see that next to our 2 mounts, Euro mount there. Wish I could have Ribbon Tree Skulls do that from back in Irons, Michigan. They're great, they're fast, they do it, but I don't have anything like that out here. So I may have to do it myself, I don't know. But oh man, I guess let's just get out there and see what happens, huh?
So we're back out here. The goal of today is really to do some scouting and hunting kind of together. This spot, there was just tons of deer sign yesterday when I was here, and I'm kind of going to scout to see where I can put up one of my little blinds that won't be seen very easily, so hopefully it doesn't get stolen, and kind of be able to sit here a couple of times during the season. I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm going to sit here till the evening anyway, so if something shows up, great. But, yeah, that's the plan. So we'll see what happens. I got it, yes. Okay, so this was fun. This was different than anything I've ever done. It was just a spike, but to be honest, for a blacktail, I'm happy with a spike. It's a start. I got my deer. It was a spike. Next year I'll be about bigger deer. But I did it. I'm shaking. That was awesome. I gotta figure out how to get to it. But it came up that ridge. I don't know if you guys could see it. It came up that ridge, and yeah, we put the hammer down. I'm gonna go over there here pretty soon and figure out a way to get over there. I had a good feeling about today. I don't know why, but it was a spike, and you know, I can worry about taking a bigger deer. Just wanted to get the first one in the bucket, some meat in the freezer this year, and be able to be like, yeah, I got mine. Next year we'll go for more mature and let that one pass. But I wasn't gonna have tag soup again this year. So man, that felt good. Oh dude, that felt so good. All right. Found him. Thought this was around the spot, but it messes with you a little bit. He was a little bit further down. Oh yeah, double lunged. Okay. There it is. We did it. Right there. I mean, he's not going anywhere, but I was a little off. But there he is. Our first Oregon blacktail. Right on. Right on. Yeah. We'll take it. Oh man, that feels so good. We got her. All right, I got some work to do. I need to get him gutted. Oh man, this is awesome. This is just so cool. Oh, yeah. Got it done. Oh man, that's great. I gotta get dirty, but that's okay. So yeah, let's get dirty. We'll get this thing gutted out and get him dragged out. I have to figure out the best way to drag him out. Need to get him out to the road, I think. I think if I just go that way, it'll take me right out to the road. So it was not that far, which is cool. All right, yeah, I'll get to it. All right, I'm mostly done. I had to get it dragged out to the truck so I can get some cold water on it, because it did hit a little bit of gut. I think maybe it bounced a little bit. I don't know. It's 3/6, so it shouldn't have, but because there was an exit wound. I must have hit just the top part of the stomach. I hit it a little back, unfortunately. I have a tendency to do that when I'm shooting deer. I got to work on that, but anyways, it's dead. It's mostly gutted. I won't show you so I don't get dinged by YouTube, but yeah, we first Oregon blacktail in the books. We got to drag her out. We got to get her. I'm gonna try rinse her out a little bit with some of the water I got in the truck, and then we'll get her in the truck, or get him in the truck. It's a hay. We'll get him in the truck, and then we'll get him over to my buddy's house, who's got a cooler where we can hang it a little bit and deal with it the rest of the way there. So yeah, super stoked, guys. Let's drag it out. You don't know how out of shape you are until you start trying to drag out a deer, even after it's been gutted. So let's get to it, huh? I'm almost to the road. It's gutted out, but my goodness, it is not an easy thing to drag a deer out of the woods. Oh, look at that view. Never thought I'd be hunting in that kind of a landscape. So this was pretty cool. Yeah. Buck in the truck, baby. Buck in the truck. So one of my favorite feelings, favorite times, better than Elf on a Shelf. Oh man, and look at that view, guys. Just incredible, huh? Malala River down there. Gotta love it. Oh, this has been... Last year, you know, I had a couple of shots at a doe with my arrow or with my bow. I could have, and I just didn't because I wanted a buck. This year it was rifle season, and it was getting towards the end. We had 1.5 weeks left, and I saw that spike, and I'm like, you know what? No, I want one. Get the first blacktail out of the way, and so we've got it. We got meat in the freezer. I am gonna get a Euro mount done with it. Got a first blacktail deer. You know, it's a memory that we'll always have. Got some things coming around the corner for Truax Outdoors. I'm gonna have a really fun video with the family that I think you guys are gonna like. Sorry it's been so long, but there's just a lot of things going on, and hunting is a long process. So hopefully you guys really enjoy this movie. We're gonna take it to my friend's house. He's got a processor. I got another friend meeting me right here soon. He's gonna bring some ice because I totally forgot to bring some. We're gonna fill its cavity. I'm gonna take it over to my buddy's house, who's got a cooler, a little walk-in cooler he built specifically for this, and that way we can let her hang and process there for a little bit and go from there. So man, let's enjoy the drive together a little bit. Driving along, and I realized that in all the excitement and rush and all that of getting a deer, I forgot to thank the most important person, and that is my Lord and Savior Jesus, the God of creation who spoke things into existence. He, you know, I prayed mainly like I do every time, Lord, let me go out and get a deer, and you know, he gives me time in this beautiful creation. So I'm going through the narrows. This always makes me nervous coming around here because people like to fly through here. There's not much space. But anyways, the gun shot true. Even with my nerves, I shot a little in the back, a little back, clipped the stomach. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Bet you didn't know a Rapala fillet knife could be used for something else, huh? So I am going to be. I got the back straps off the deer. Went to my buddy Scott's, like I said. And we actually hung it and did actually a lot of processing. We took the skin off, quartered it, and it's hanging in his cool room now. But I am going to, I brought the back straps home, and I'm going to take off the silver skin off one of the back straps, and I'm going to pellet smoke it with my pellet smoker, and get it to like 130 and have an amazing roast for dinner with the kids. So first things first is getting this sharp and taking that silver skin off. So let's get to that. The first thing you want to kind of do is you want to pat this dry as best you can. Pat this dry. And then, oh, what is this? Dog getting in the trash? Did you get in the trash, dog? Now I'm going to try to take this knife. This knife did not want to take an edge. I don't know why. Usually I don't have a problem with that, but it was not wanting to do it. So it's really important to get this silver skin off because it is not good. I mean, you're going to lose a little bit of meat. And honestly, it's okay to lose just a little bit of meat for this because it's worth getting this nasty silver skin off. Now my buddy, he used to tell me, he starts to make the cut, and then he kind of comes in here, and he keeps it on the bottom, and he just works it like this, down, kind of like you would a fish. And he says he ends up getting most of the silver skin off. That way,
a lot easier than if you try doing it from the top. Which, look at that, that worked. Craig, if you're watching this, bro, thank you very much. That was incredibly helpful. That nice piece of silver skin, very little actually. Look how little meat we lost there just by getting that process there, so that's great. So that'll be scrap, and then we're gonna see that there's this kind of this edge here. We're gonna take that little edge off there. Keep in mind it's just me and my kids eating tonight, so and my wife. So we actually don't eat that much, so this is perfect for a family of 4. Turn the smoker on. Shouldn't take too long to get to temperature. Basically, the hope is we're going to get this to about, the ideal is going to be, you know, what, 130 degrees for a nice medium rare. And I'm just trying to, like I said, get a lot of this kind of silver skin that's just a little bit off. It's nice, a little sharper than it felt, so that's good. Just trim it. I mean, it's worth trimming, honestly. Like, I used to be like, oh man, we need to save every little piece of meat, but honestly, the taste difference, like, this is just worth getting a little trim on. You're not going to lose much. That's it. That's perfectly trimmed there, pretty much. And honestly, it's worth that little bit of trim there. And boom, there you have it. Beautiful. Take this scrap right now, throw it in the trash. Hands real quick. So my seasonings of choice today are salt, fresh ground pepper, this Grill Mates Chipotle roasted garlic. It's pretty good actually, and my secret seasoning. This you can get at Asian markets. It is demonized in America, but most of what they say about it is not true. Believe it or not, it's actually naturally occurring in every kind of meat that you eat. And maybe you know where I'm going with this, but this is MSG, and we're putting some MSG on there because it's really good. So let's start with salt first. And really, because we're doing the outer edge of this, you really can't I mean, you could over salt it, I guess, but it'd be difficult. Hit it with the MSG. And we'll do both sides like that, so. Cracked pepper. And finally, Grill Mates Chipotle roasted garlic. That's just going to taste so good. So I have a good friend who went to a homesteading conference in Idaho and won him a Traeger. Well, they're not very fond of smoked meats, and he had called me up and he said, hey, I've got some work on my farm, would you be willing to trade work for a Traeger? And I said, yeah buddy. So that's how we ended up doing that. So super excited about that. Got us a Traeger, got Wi-Fi, all that other crazy stuff, so that's pretty awesome. All right, we got the Traeger on, the super smoke settings on, and we got that all cut and trimmed and everything. It's beautiful. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it on there. I gotta go grab the probe. We're gonna get a probe inside that kind of measures the temperature. Want to get it up to 130 degrees, and then we'll pull it off. Should be medium rare. Let it rest for a little while, and then it will be amazing. So let's do this. So here's the probe, freshly cleaned, and all we gotta do is pop it in here like this. There's a cool hole in the side. Probe thing in. And what you want to do is you want to put it in the center of the thickest part of the meat. And so for this spot here, we're going to put it just kind of long ways into the you have to get at least 2 inches. And just like that. And there we go. So now we have this probe temperature. We're gonna say, no, I don't want probe alarm. All right, probe saying it's 57 degrees in there, so gotta get it up to temp. Like I said, looking for 130, and then we'll take it off. All right, so I got the final product. Let it rest and everything, and off the smoker. Here it is. Look at that. That's just perfect. Gave it a quick sear in the cast iron, so we are going to eat now, and I'll do the outro in a little bit. God bless.
If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on all the new content that we post regularly. Also, if you would like to see more from Truax Outdoors, check out our channel where we have playlists with hundreds of other videos like this one. And as always, until next time, God bless.